I just finished priming all the parts, or the parts that you see here. They are, you know, not unlike, you know, like a regular high-grade kit. I was gonna, you know, disassemble it to its basic components, but I knew that was not going to happen considering what I've been doing with this kit. But I primed all the parts that make up the GunHissTank, or the GunHissTank, excuse me. I've noticed a few things that I need to work on right now. I had a bit of an issue with my airbrush, where for whatever reason the primer didn't want to come out properly. I tried it on the gun first, and apparently it didn't come out good, but it's no big deal. Now I'm reviewing it now, and I'm going to, using a sanding brick, sand off the excess primer that's on it, and then I'm just going to be reviewing it to make sure that there's no scar marks left over, no parts that I think I need to be redone again. Yeah, that looks okay. One thing I was working on with this one was I had it on this on the table. I knew that was going to happen. This is already dried, so it's no big deal. This one I had to put it on the table and airbrush it. I mean, you know, prime it. Don't know if the lighting is very good. You know what? I'm surprised that I should have turned on the other light. Hang on a second. I think that should be a lot better now. Actually, let me also bring it down an angle a bit so you guys can see this. So this is alright, just I'm noticing some things that I'm gonna need to clear up a bit. Where is my blade? Oh, I'll use this one for now. Some of the leftover glue. I'm gonna sand it, kind of like remove it a bit, make sure it's nice and clean. That's probably left over the glue. I'll take care of that in a minute. See, like right now when you prime a part, and if you notice some inconsistencies, some parts, some areas that the kit shows, some parts that may have been, you missed either the sanding part or there's leftover scar marks, you can go back and revisit it and redo it again. You know, resand it up again, reprime it until you feel it's nice and comfortable. So, yeah, it's going to take me some time to work with this. Here are the plating for the side armor tracks. Came out okay. I did mention in I guess in one of the videos before that I was going to take this thing apart, but with me gluing everything on, and I said to myself, you know what, I can challenge myself. I'm going to see if I can try to paint this in the way where I can show, you know, I can paint it right, you could say. You know, everything looks good on this. So everything's all solid. But now I'm going to discuss about the paints that I'm going to use. And this is going to be a quick rundown. I of course used my Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 Gray for priming. I had a black primer, but I ran out of it, and I was actually thinking of painting it black, but I'm actually going to do it black. Because remember, the GunHissTank, in the original GunHissTank, as you can see here, is all black. I'm not going to do the whole thing black, but I'm going to give it a base coat. So here's the number 2 black that I've never get a chance to use, only if it's for pre-shading. And I'm not pre-shading this guy, no. This will be a solid color tone. So I'm going to use black as its overall base. For the body, for the lower body, for the tank, for the treads itself also, and the entire inside of that. Then I'm going to use this blue. This is Exam Blue 1 from the Destiny Blue Destiny Gundam. Don't know how well it will look on top of this because I know it'll be a little dark, but I'm going to end up masking off like the plating here, this, here, and here, this part. maybe the bottom part here and here, this plate, this circle part, this plate here and here, these two side plates, the front of course, and then painted blue. Let's see where I can work with this one. I mean, this will be all black, except this section will be blue. This whole section will be blue. This section, maybe this little part will be blue. There are other parts that I'm going to mask off. These will be blue, maybe. Don't know yet. But besides using this, I'm going to be using Titan's blue one. This is a darker charcoal color. And I'm going to be using it on this part here. And then these two sections, which I'm going to probably pop out and spray paint them separately. So I'm going to end up using for that. Since this will be all black, these two would be blue. This could be the charcoal parts from going from here down. So obviously the vents. Then I'm going to do a little bit of detailing with red paint, red number 3. And usually the red would probably be reserved for, like if I go here, the two parts that's here. The actual part that goes under here is going to be a combination of blue and red as well. The antenna will be red. I should have also mentioned this. So the missile packs will be Xeon MS Gray. So this will be all gray, but I will mask off these sections here and paint it the red, and I'm going to see if I can actually paint these little holes red as well. The back part will probably be the darker charcoal color, or maybe maybe that, and then these strips will be charcoal. So there's going to be definitely a lot of masking here for that. The guns will be the gray, while the top part will be red as well. The tank treads, I've been thinking about.
I need your consent on a few items to continue.
Why? Oh, my phone just activated. Stupid Bixby. Does that all the time. For the tank treads, thinking of using this for a darker tone here on top of it, while the inside of this will be this color tone. Maybe, I don't know yet. I have to think about that, see how I can work on that. Also, the front plating will be red as well. So that's an idea where I'm going to go with this. No pre-shading, of course. This is just going to be a fun little paint job build, and we'll go from there. So let me clean up my airbrush and begin painting. of the black already, but I guess you guys are getting a gist of it. Let me continue on, see how it comes out. Alright, so I finished painting all the parts black, and I'm not fond of how the black came out for this. I don't know why this did not come out the way I wanted. I was having a really tough time trying to get the right feel of the tone, and even though it's a little glossy, I forgot that this is a gloss black. This is not flat black. If I had flat black, this would have been great. So, after reviewing this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them the next color tone, which should flatten them out. That should give it an even coat. And that's going to be Titan's Blue 1, because it is a darker charcoal. Plus, I kind of like the mixture of this paint, because for whatever reason I had trouble with the gloss black, but with Titan's Blue 1, I guess since it's a newer paint, or maybe a different type of mixture, or the pigments is a little better. It goes on nice. It goes out of your airbrush nice and smooth. It's not glossy. It looks really nice. Obviously, there's an undertone of gloss under it, but I kind of like how it comes out. Now this one, there's a lot of glossiness there, and I had to like be careful what I was doing, so doing this should balance it out. There is a bit of gloss there from the black that is showing through. Hopefully, what I'll do is I'll give it another coat, and then maybe it'll even out. I do have flat, primer. That should help me out here. This one I had a hard time with painting this, because I was trying to get in an area where to get the coverage, and for whatever reason one area became saturated with black, and it glossed up to the point where I could pretty much easily, if I wanted to chrome it up, I can do it, and I have a reflectiveness. So applying this will probably even out the blackness and give it this tone. And hopefully I can recover my idea here. It's also very hard to actually look at a part that's all black. I remember Tim from Child of Mecha was talking about this in one of his mechanism videos, where it's very difficult to do black, especially a flat black. You can do gloss black, which is no problem, but you have to really put something in contrast. I'm hoping that the blue that I will put on this and the red will bring it out, and plus the red decals as well. Besides the Cobra decals, I have other decals that I may end up using. See, this one's not better. Now the coat is a little duller. That's what I was looking for. Alright, let me continue on. because I have a lot of parts here. I know it's been a lengthy video here, but just was trying to get this right and not make any mistakes. I know mistakes happens, but that's the name of the game. Alright, so I began to mask off the upper and lower body of the GunHissTank. I'm able to get certain parts masked off, and some of them will be painted a different color, but I just wanted to start with the blue. That's the one thing that I wanted to work on. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using this blue, Gundam color number XUG07 Exam Blue 1. I actually had that pulled out. Let's make sure that okay. Let me just clean the nozzle a bit. Good. Alright. Let's spray and pray. Since remember it has this darker tone of color under it, I'm not expecting this lighter tone of blue. I'm expecting the darker tone of blue. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. This is only going to be one coat for now. These two guys back here, and then this one is going to be blue, but the vents are going to be gray, except for these two parts here on the bottom. I'm gonna paint this part. Let me just make sure that this is all the way in. There we go. I'm gonna paint this blue and this blue, but I'm going to, let me just make sure this is, alright, there we go. But this part here is going to be another grayer tone, and the little dots there, here and here, will be red, and this will be red. This part, which I'm going to pop out, I'm going to spray it a gunmetal color, and it will also be metallic here as well for the vents and these two guys as well. I just want to cover the base first, like so. So that way, once it's dry, I'm going to mask it off and then paint the next layer over. I haven't masked off these guys yet, but I will in a moment. I just wanted to get this first done. This was going to take me a long time to work with, because like I said, I'm going to do this blue, and I think the blue tone, how it comes out like that, looks really nice, just nice and dark. Let me just check this part here. Because it has the black base on it. There we go. So yeah. Alright. Let me continue on, and we'll do more detail in other parts. So hang on a second.